Ohio, Onitsha.
Welcome to the podcast where we talk about anything and everything that comes out of the crapshoot. I'm your host, JD. This is my co-host.
We're singing in the rain. We're singing in the rain.
James. I call him James. Everyone else calls him Jimmy. It just works like that.
It's a little weird.
A lot of things have happened this week, James.
Yeah. I'm streamlining it.
Yeah, I mean, you know, there's a lot of things that happen. There's a lot of things that happen every week, I guess. And apparently most of them are seen by you and not me, so.
Yeah, I decided for once I'm going to make a list of things. That way I can keep on track about what I want to talk about. So I've made a list of topics I want to talk about. Mm-hmm. I'm sure you got stuff you want to talk about as well.
Well, I mean, I do have a list where I jot down things I see interesting during the week, and I'm like, hey, maybe you should talk about this on the pod. But this week I've got nothing. I just haven't really seen anything. Yeah, I mean, I guess I did an interview for a job.
Ooh,
I was just preparing for that the entire week, so I wasn't really, on the lookout for the hottest new gossip on the streets.
I could tell as you wouldn't respond to any of my FNAF Transformers I'd send you.
Yeah, I think I got I looked at my phone and I see a notification like he sent you this image that has a bunch of random letters and numbers. I'm like, oh, it's probably like a transformer or something. And I was right.
It's the marionette transformer.
Yeah.
I'm proud of that one, okay?
Sorry I was a little late today. I was eating while you sent me the message saying you were ready.
Yeah, man, it's all good. I was still writing down topics and trying to think about So I was going based off so these aren't like technically the order I want to talk about them in. These are just what I saw on my phone in the order of when I captured the information.
I see. So what do you want to talk about first then?
I think we got to talk about the big one, Kai Senta.
The most recent.
Or is it Kai Cenat?
It's Kai Cenat, I think.
Okay, because
you said Kai Senta before when you were talking about it?
I've said it before,
and I knew that you were saying it wrong. I knew you were saying it wrong.
I swear I've heard people say it before, and that's why I always thought it was Kai Senta.
I've never heard anyone say Kai Senta. I've never heard anyone refer to it as Kai Senta.
I think it's like one of those things like where
I say even how you spell the name either,
meal
right?
I was gonna say it's like for me how I say meal and mule.
Yeah.
And they sound the same to you.
Uh-huh. Well, for me, that's the same. They sound the same to everyone.
No. No. But Kai Cenat was in New York, and he was doing a very large meet and greet in like Times Square or some shit, like at one of the parks. And it got rowdy and fucking wild immediately.
What? No. What?
And
that's crazy. Man.
A riot broke out. I'm using quotes there as well because I think it was not really a riot, and it was like some construction stuff got broken, and then the police tore everything up and beat a bunch of kids up. I don't
know what happened. I've just heard that he incited a riot from the police. I was like, huh. I mean, maybe.
I also heard that, and then I looked at like a bunch of videos that kids took, and it really looks like they just stood in a circle and they kind of like threw around some construction stuff they found, like a couple cones, like a shovel, and then like maybe one other thing, and that's about it. And then it's
I heard they broke some like
grabbing a kid and throwing his head through a fucking car window, shattering it.
Well, I heard they broke some car windows, but I don't know.
Yeah, it was technically they broke the car window since the police shoved their head through it. So, that would break it. Here's a video of it, by the way.
You have a video of the
I have
the riot?
Video of it. Yeah, I have video of the riot.
Mm-hmm.
It's still sending. Oh man, I really thought that would have sent faster. It's halfway.
I just wanted to, just to clarify. Senta and Cenat are different spellings as well. They're completely different.
They are.
The letters are reversed.
But I'm pretty sure I heard Hassan say it. And
Hassan says it like that?
I think I'm pretty sure Hassan has like a slight lisp.
Yeah.
And so I think when he said it, it just like kind of came out differently.
Uh-huh.
Or something. But I remember hearing Hassan say Senta. So I just thought Senta because I didn't look at anybody else that viewed this. So
I'm watching that video you
okay,
sent
you're
me.
watching already,
Holy, it looks like a goddamn movie with the way they grab that kid
dude.
and shove his
It's
head through the
it's
car
the
window.
only person not doing anything. Like he doesn't resist, and they fucking slam his face into a window.
That's
One kid
weird. What the
walks
heck?
up, points at it, and then a bunch of cops, like three cops, grab him and fucking throw him onto the ground. Yeah, a
Uh,
guy walks up and points at it, and they do that to him. It's it's so insane because the police, like lieutenant or chief, in an interview says, "I'm very proud of how restrained our police officers were."
I mean,
And
no,
it's like
I think
shit like
I think you just
this.
misheard him. He's proud of how they restrained the kids.
It's just insane to me because it's like it's a large group of people, and the only person that isn't like doing anything, he's literally standing there. He's walking slowly. He didn't raise his hands or anything. He doesn't fight back. And these two fucking large cops come up, grab him by both arms, and slam him face first through a fucking taxi window, shattering it completely.
That's crazy.
And they continue to proceed to arrest him.
I mean, I don't know, man. Maybe we're missing some context before, but I mean, so far it
Missing
seems
some
like it's just
context.
it
He's
just seems like they
standing
just
there.
slammed a kid through the window.
You can see who somebody like throws, I think, like a fucking like stick or something, like a bag. It looks like it wasn't him. You can because you can see him in frame the entire time. It was not him who threw it.
I think it was like the kid that threw the stick was standing next to him.
It's also like
Does that count as
he's wearing
assaulting police? I think maybe they would count that.
yeah.
Even if it's
The police
just a
chief is also
stick.
trying to claim that a bunch of kids had axes, as if they're a
Axes?
fucking gang. They're a gang of
Supreme
fictional
axes?
gang like anime gangsters
Yeah, I mean,
with a
well, they got the
hatchet gang.
axes from down the street when they were given the Supreme giveaway of giving away axes with the Supreme
There
logo on them.
wasn't there also no giveaway? Like he was never giving anything away, and that was just
I don't
something
know. I
that people
thought he
kept
announced a
saying.
giveaway.
I don't remember seeing anything about a giveaway, and I remember I watched like a couple of videos of people going, "What giveaway? He wasn't giving anything away."
Wait, what? So what are they doing there then?
It was just a giant meet and greet.
Oh, it was just a meet and greet?
Yeah, and
thought
I
I
think
saw
it
a
turned
tweet
into
when
like
I watched like a little bit of Charlie's video on this, and I saw
I
like
haven't
a
watched
tweet
Charlie's
from
video, so maybe there's something. But from
I saw a
everything I've
tweet
seen,
from Kai Cenat that he said he was doing a giveaway like Xbox PCs and PS5s and stuff like that.
okay, so maybe I'm wrong there. But I when I was watching it, like when it first started coming out, everyone was like, "What giveaway? What are they talking about? When did they say they were doing a giveaway?" But that might have changed. There might have been more info that came out after that. I only watched this when it all first went down, not like anybody else's coverage. And I actually don't watch Charlie anymore.
Yeah, I know that his takes have been making you so angry recently.
He's been making me angry, and then I saw this fucking tweet that I
Yeah.
sent you, and I'm
Wait,
like,
did you send me a tweet? What was that?
yeah, I sent you a tweet from Ms. Kiff,
Oh, yeah, the Miz kid.
and I looked at the date of it, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh, this is probably from when when they hang out.
It's
they hung out
yesterday.
before. It was from fucking yesterday.
Yeah.
And I literally was like, Charlie, you fucking slammed him. You gave him shit for what he did. What are you doing? What the fuck are you doing? It was just like my brain's like, oh wait, I forgot. Charlie's a fucking centrist.
What are you talking about, dude? You don't. Who even is Mizkiff?
There is no miskiff in Bossing
Dude,
Say.
it happened like 10 years ago, man. You gotta just
It
let
happened
things
last
go.
year, man. It happened last year.
Last year is basically 10 years ago.
No, it was
That's
not.
just how.
I'm pretty
That's
sure
just the speed of how
I'm
things
pretty
move.
sure it's less than a year ago it happened.
Nah,
Or
dude.
maybe
I don't
just
even remember
over.
it anymore. Like I don't even know who this guy is.
I
He just seems like a happy-go-lucky dude, and he's you
yeah,
know,
man. Happy-go-lucky. He has literally suffered no repercussion for his actions.
yeah.
Literally nothing wrong has happened to him since he fucking covered up sexual assault.
I'm sorry. Did he? Was that a crime? I mean, I don't know.
Yes. Yes, it is. That's the problem.
No, don't worry about it, man.
Just because no charges were fucking placed doesn't mean that what he did shouldn't isn't fucking morally and legally wrong in a way. It's literally just the fact that she doesn't press charges. That's the only reason it's not like he's not in any trouble.
Huh.
Also, same
So like, guys
situation.
are all like taking
for Super
pictures
Mega.
of the dude after he got his face slammed into the car.
Dude, it's wild. It's such a terrible video. There's so many more videos out there. Hassan was watching them. That's where I saw a lot of them was coming from Hassan's stream.
Yeah.
Because somebody put up a highlight on YouTube. I don't watch anybody's streams really anymore. I just kind of watch the highlights. I don't really care for the streams themselves. I'd
Uh-huh.
rather have a chance to pause it and rewind for myself in real time. But I was watching it and there was like the police coverage of the police chief going, "Oh, I'm really proud of how restrained we were." And then he's like talking about like a bunch of fucking bullshit points. He's like, "You know, it's just kids. Kids getting rowdy and wild out in the streets, and this is what happens when they're let loose." And it's like, "What?" Yeah, man, kids. Kids.
Yeah, they're just kids. I always say it. It's just
Face
kids.
first to that fucking window. I'm just surprised. Like, what a wild response from police here compared to
Yeah.
something like the fucking Capitol riots, where they were on defense the entire time and were not attacking people.
Yeah, I mean,
They realize this is a group of kids and not a group of adults, so they were like, "Oh, we can put them through a car window.
we can shove them around. No, we can't shove around that 300 pound.
Right through that car window.
We can't shove around that
Get through the
300-pound
place.
redneck fighting the Capitol, dude. He's gonna fucking body us.
80-pound 14-year-old face first through that window. You get that window back. You just gotta call a fucking safe
I'm
flight.
surprised how
Get
I'm
that
surprised how
window
fragile that
replaced.
I'm surprised how fragile that car window was.
I don't think
I
it's a
feel- I
matter of how
didn't feel
fragile
like-
it was. I
I
think
feel
it's a
like I
matter of how
bumped it-
hard the guy fucking shoved his
I feel like
face
I've bumped
into it.
I bumped into car windows harder than they've shoved him into it. Because he was like he's like standing like 2 feet away from that window when the officer like shoves him into it.
So the officer in the black garb, not the one in the white, he grabs him by the shoulders and you see him like run up kind of on him. He does like a little circle. They put him towards the car and he kind of like starts stepping more and shoves him right into it, going face first in.
Yeah.
That's that kid's gonna get a lot of fucking money, I hope, from winning a case against that officer. Holy shit.
Yeah, maybe.
What an unnecessary use of force.
Yeah, I
And
would
then
probably
also-
sue them for that one.
I have a problem with police doing this sort of stuff because they single out people in groups that are like not violent. Like they'll leave the violent
They
offenders
always get the
alone.
wrong dude.
This happened during BLM too. They never actually did anything about the people that were looting. They went after
Yeah.
the BLM protesters specifically. Well, so that kid is bleeding. I'm rewatching the video. Half of his face is covered in blood.
Yeah, he got shoved to a car window that was broken by a
Oh
bunch
my
of glass
God.
cuts on his face.
Oh my god! What the fuck happened?
And
So
shit, dude,
Kai's gonna
I
get
would
in
avoid.
trouble.
I would always avoid the police if you were anywhere near like situations like this.
Yeah, no.
They get like super rowdy and violent.
Police are literal fucking man children.
I mean, I've had
there are
really good
so
experiences
few.
with police officers, so I don't really have that view on them.
Yeah, I
But
can
there
only
are
say
some
that
that are
when I was a
bad. I see
kid.
it right here.
I can only say that when I was a kid and an alarm went off in a fucking mall and I was panicked looking for my little sister. The only time I've had a good experience with a police officer.
Yeah, well, for me, it was like, my father was doing something pretty sus. And,
Illegal.
it wasn't illegal. It was
Your
it was more
father
like
was
a
standing at the New York. He was like, "JD, you look here. Don't be a simp like all these other kids. Break a window."
yeah. I think what was it my coworkers or my father's coworkers were worried about his like mental health, so they called the police on him to see, and then they come into like the house and they're like, "Are you all right? Are you feeling all good?" And they have like a really nice talk with us. So maybe the police around my local area is just really good. But these ones I don't see how they should have shoved him anyway if they threw the stick at him. Jesus.
Yeah, just again, it's like this is something. It's a similar tactic.
They grabbed a
do.
random kid who wasn't running or doing anything and shoved his face through a car window.
Are you reading the tweet?
Yeah, I am reading it.
Yeah, no, there's this guy. So this was on a retweet somebody did of a Hassan post about the situation, which is where I got the video from. And this guy is like going like, it's literally not the police's fault. This just happens. And he goes on more and more, and he has like more shit that he says like on top of this. Just like he goes very in depth with his replies. He'll give like a person 4 fucking paragraph responses. And it's always, it just comes down to, they're just men. They get emotional in the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I really love when my police get emotional.
Yeah.
I really love when they're
I
not.
like.
When they're
I
not
love when
emotionally capable
the
of these
police are
harsh
dealing with
situations.
things, and instead of dealing things with facts and logic, deal with emotion. That's just how it
Yeah,
should be.
I really love how people who have the ability to take your life in a fucking second are just the biggest man babies ever. It blows my fucking mind every time
I
I see
mean,
it.
those are the kinds of people who apply to be police officers, right?
Oh, sorry, I said tweet. I meant Zeet because X eat.
Right.
My app
No, they're not. They're not
officially
Zeets.
updated.
They're just
My
X's.
my oh yeah, you're right. Sorry, my X's.
Also, is that your phone battery like 0% or?
Yeah, so I that was me on my way home
Okay.
today. I was doing some stuff.
All right, James. I think you're infecting the rest of my family members with this whole social media thing, this social media
I'm
virus.
infecting them.
Yeah.
Is this your family member? Is this
Because
your dad I'm responding to, JD?
every time I walk by any one of my family members, like do on their like phones and stuff, they're always watching like shorts or stuff like that, short
Yeah, hold on.
video
I don't,
content
I don't watch YouTube Shorts.
and
Those
TikToks.
those are fucking terrifying. It's just full of Andrew Tate bullshit almost all the time.
Well, I mean, I don't
hate
think
it.
I've ever seen any Andrew Tate stuff in shorts, but I know there are
get
some.
them. I constantly get them, and I wish there was a block option on YouTube.
Well, I
'cause
mean,
just wanna
the
block
algorithm is
channels.
just, I've been telling you, man, it's super
It's because
accurate.
I watch
and it's
Hassan.
just-
No, I know. It's because I watch Hassan. It's just because of that. It just keeps looping me back. It's because I watch Hassan, and like I sometimes look up H3 because my sister tells me about what happens with him.
Is your sister a big H3 fan? H3
Yeah,
head?
damn it, I was about to say it.
You-
H3 H head.
H head?
Yeah, man.
Why is H3 been getting
Big
more
H head.
active on X or something?
No, it was just she's just a big fan of the podcast and whatnot. She was a big
I see.
Trisha Paytas fan, so when Trisha Paytas left, she was upset, and I'm like, oh, but they got Hassan. She's like, I don't like Hassan.
Well, it looks like
I'm
your
like,
sister and I have something in common then, huh? Yeah, I don't like Hassan much either.
Yeah, what's your reason for not liking him, JD?
Because he's stupid.
Because he's a lib.
I don't know. I don't watch him,
Nice
but I don't need to
haircut,
watch
liberal.
him. I don't
Where'd you
need to
get
watch
that
him to
from
not like him, James.
From the liberal store.
I could just look at a dude and be like, you know what? I don't like him.
Yeah, I get that every time I look at you.
Oh yeah, James. Well, my family
Yeah,
gets
man,
that every
fuck
time. My family gets that every time they look like someone like you,
Yeah,
and
Is
maybe
it
they
someone
whisper
like-
things about
is it-
that
is it
person
someone
to
that
me.
looks like me, or is it what I am, JD?
So
Which
something
one?
like you. Infer that anyhow, any way you want.
I know what way you mean. Charlie Kirk touching his forehead means saying "I know."
So wait, so back to the riot thing. Why did the police show up again? Did someone call the cops on them, or
Yeah,
probably
someone
what
called the
happened,
cops on him because
they're scared of the
big
bunch
head-
of crowd, the big crowd that was in that area?
Yeah, they were scared of big crowd and also big head Cenat. I almost said it again. Just by
Yeah,
muscle
you say it
memory.
however you want, man. It's okay.
Kai Cenat didn't like put this up previously as like an event. He didn't like get permits for the area and whatnot.
Yeah.
So in that video I sent you, like I'm saying, it's literally just in this like circle that they made that they're throwing like some 2x4s around. And not much else. That's about all the damage they do is throwing like some 2x4s around and like shoes and like cones.
Yeah.
And then that's all. Like there's
No,
some
I don't
paint
know,
on the
man.
ground,
Maybe
but
there could be some other stuff.
there's a football. You're right. I just
Well,
saw it
dude,
go by in the video.
Can't be throwing football.
But,
man. Holy
yeah, it's
crap!
literally-
He really chucks that thing.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely like. There's a lot of trash on the ground.
what
from
did-
him
what
and
is he
whatnot.
doing?
But police deploy a fucking like tear gas grenade immediately. Like that's their first response.
Yeah, I think the police they were just like, finally, we get to do something here. Tear gas.
I think the statistic is that they spend like 29 million a month on police in New York alone.
Yeah, I don't know, man. The police in New
Just
York
like
seem pretty crazy to me.
Yeah, because they're all insane. They're all the craziest fucking people converged in one place.
Huh.
But yeah, so that's another video of like a person like firsthand there, other than the kid getting his head shoved through a fucking glass. And yeah, anybody that says the police didn't overreact are fucking insane.
Yeah, I think they overreacted.
Their first
But-
response was tear gassing a crowd of kids. And
Oh,
then
is that the tear gas?
distinctly- That's tear gas because they were like fucking like, oh god, I can barely breathe and like running away from it. It's not like just normal fucking gas. They tear
That's
gassed a
nice.
bunch of kids, and then they fucking start singling out like the kids that aren't fighting back, and then violently arresting them, which is what they always do
You got to show a
when there's like
message, man.
protests.
You got
It's
it's not
not
about
showing
the
a
things. It's
message.
about the message.
It's not showing a message. It's literally being a shitty fucking human being. Because they did this. They did this during the BLM riots in Vegas. My
Yeah.
brother was there. There's videos of it and whatnot because he would live stream it. And he was a corpsman in the Navy, which is a medic for the Navy, but he works with the Marines specifically, which is why he's a corpsman.
Hmm.
But they just don't call it medic for some reason. But he was giving medical aid to people, like protesters that were getting hurt. And there was this one girl that he kept finding was like circled by like a bunch of like people trying to help her. And the police would quickly run up and grab people that were circling around her. But he'd keep finding this girl constantly throughout this like area, like
Yeah.
pretending to be hurt. And he realized, oh, this was a cop pretending to be a protester to get other protesters to link off from the protest to come help her, so cops could run up and grab the person and arrest them.
That sounds like a pretty big conspiracy theory to me.
It's not a conspiracy theory; it's a fucking fact. This is what happened.
Oh yeah, how do you know that was a cop
My
down
brother
there?
is a corpsman, a medic, and checked her out and it's like, "You're not hurt. What are you doing?"
Well, I mean, it could just be a random troll that's trying to get all these people
No,
too.
they were the police were sticking close to this girl. That's what I'm saying. Is like they
Yeah.
were with the right, but they were also
It's side
with this
man.
one girl. Did he? Jet fuel melts steel beams.
What? What do you?
Bush did 9/11.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Have you never heard that?
No.
You've never heard? Oh wow.
Oh, no, I've never heard
Yeah.
jet fuel melts steel beams.
I think it's actually jet fuel doesn't melt steel beams is the actual thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Also, I'm
What's
sending
that
you
supposed to mean? Like, is there deeper meaning than just?
So a fucking conspiracy is that the planes aren't what really took down the buildings. That there was stuff inside the buildings that took them down.
Oh, I see.
Because jet fuel can't melt the beams of the building, or something.
Oh,
It's something along those lines. I can't really remember, but like, yeah.
oh, I see. That makes perfect sense to me. Holy crap.
So transitioning from conspiracies, we're going to talk about more crazy people.
Okay.
Uh,
But how do you
Rush-
always find all these crazy people?
because
Are they just recommended to you, or?
Yeah, my For You page is recommending like because this video I sent you is a
Huh,
reaction.
that's a little strange,
to this.
isn't it?
Well, no, it's always reactions to the crazy stuff. It's always people like reacting to it.
Oh, I
and
see.
then I circle from them to it.
Okay.
But this was a reaction video of like an animator reacting to it, like with their little character at the end, which you can see for one frame before I cut it off.
Yeah.
But this cosplayer, who's a Russian cosplayer, is a white girl who puts on a Spider-Punk cosplay from the new Spider-Man Spider-Verse movie.
Yeah.
And Spider-Punk's a black character, and people have talked about this. You can cosplay this character if you're white. It's fine. But
I don't think so.
don't paint your skin. Like I don't think you should have to be told this, but don't paint your skin.
Oh, I mean, you could paint your skin like blue, and like
Yeah, because
green.
that's not a race. It's not a race.
It's a race of aliens.
No, it's aliens aren't real.
The way you said that to me,
U.S. government can't trick me.
that sounds like you know that they're real. You're trying to hide it from you. Like, aliens aren't real.
I mean, that's what the U.S. government just tried to do. They're like, ignore the writer striking. Aliens are real.
Aliens.
Okay, but what about the writers?
Uh-huh. That's crazy, man.
But yeah, this cosplayer, a Russian cosplayer, did blackface, and
I mean, it's just a different culture. That's all.
no, firstly, no, because people give the same excuse to Swedish people, which is one of the reasons why I'm like, no, you can't defend PewDiePie. He literally has a doll in the background of like a lot of his videos that is a fucking doll doing blackface. Like it's the cartoon blackface of completely blacked out, giant fake red lips, which is also one of the problems with Mr. Popo from Dragon Ball. But yeah, it's like that's literally in the background of PewDiePie's video. But this is a Russian person. This isn't part of a culture or anything. It's blackface. But something people, and I think it's insane. It's as insane as saying the police weren't being like overly violent with children. This is blackface, but people are going, well, no, it's not the color black. And
Well, it's brown, James. It's not
Yeah.
black.
And
Is
and
that
I'm
what they're
like,
saying?
That is.
Oh,
And
got him.
and I'm like, what? And they're like, well, they're not painting their skin black. It's not the
It's
cartoon
not.
version of a black person, so it's okay. And I'm like, no,
It's
no,
not.
I shouldn't have to
James.
explain this to you.
James.
I
It's not.
shouldn't have to
It's not
explain this to
black
you.
paint, James. It's not black paint.
You're still trying to represent a black person when you are a white person. That is blackface.
You're right. You should never represent. Actually, just no representation.
No, you shouldn't.
Just get
Hey, JD, you're right. No, you shouldn't, because you're not.
I don't want to see
That's not
any
how
of
it
these.
works. This is a
The
big
animator
problem.
face at the end, dude. Just
It's
is that
really
supposed to be your like?
Yes. There's another frame where she like the eyes move over to stare
I
right
see.
into the
Because
camera.
when you cut it, I thought this was like the full video, and like it cuts off like a second of just that freeze frame.
There's like a couple seconds more where it's like still staring and then it like looks over at you and then back to it.
Okay.
But I was like, yeah,
I'm the
that's
one
not
who caused that
important
to happen.
Dude, it's insane. It's insane. And guess what? They didn't do just one video. They have like 5 of them. There's videos of them at conventions. And here's the thing, they turned the lights off in their room to hide it. So it's a lot of people going, it's just the lighting. And it's like, no, they went to a convention in broad daylight and they painted their skin.
Yeah, dude, it's just the lighting, man.
It's
The lighting
insane.
just makes it look darker than it is.
People are trying to defend this so fucking hard.
It's not
I don't
blackface.
know
It's
why.
just tan. That's all.
Stop that.
It's just tan. It's just a little dark. The lighting is a little like off, I guess, and maybe like you look at it through your phone and like maybe your subconscious like immediately points to a certain direction. And
I subconsciously scrolled past the original video of this because I
Yeah?
thought it was an Oron High School cosplayer. Because at the beginning,
you thought she was in cosplay at the beginning.
yes, I did, and I'm like, I don't
Okay.
care. I scrolled past it, and then I see this video pop up, and I'm like, again, what is this? Like somebody like drama starting? Because that's usually what it is whenever I see videos like this getting duetted.
Yeah.
And then it's like they do the transition, and it like took me a second to even realize what happened. I'm like, no, and then the face at the end is me.
Well, actually, it's actually a big troll, a big catch, because it's actually the video is actually in reverse. So the
No,
girl is actually black,
JD,
but then she
JD.
white faces.
That's another thing people are saying.
Really?
But not that, but
Oh.
people are saying,
Okay.
what's wrong with it? If a black person did this, and people are like, but they aren't. They aren't though. And
Hypothetically,
they're like,
for the
"But
sake of
if
the
they
argument.
did-" It's pathetically, and it's like, no, they aren't. And a person's like, I don't think you understand what I'm saying. And I'm like, I don't think you understand what you're saying.
James, you don't understand anything. Okay, listen. The lighting's
I'm
off.
not crazy.
The video's in reverse. Okay, the paint is brown. I mean, all the facts are on the table. But you want to flip the table? I mean, it just doesn't make any
I'm
sense
in
to
a
me, James.
jacket right now.
I can like hear you. I can hear you like when you go quiet. You're like, I know you're like spazzing out in your chair, hearing like these like my fake points, and you're like, JD, you don't understand. These are real people are making these points.
They're all trying to get to me.
Anyway,
It's me against them.
yeah, I guess point of the story is don't put black paint on your face or brown paint.
Oh my god, another lady did it. Another lady did it like just yesterday.
Really?
Not this specifically, but she like in the video she goes, somebody they took the black paint from my desk, so I'm gonna have to do with this. And her face has like crude brown smudging all over her face. And she's like, and there's some thugs at the store. And she's like clicking her tongue a lot while talking, and I'm like, shut up.
But you don't like people clicking their tongues while they talk.
I don't mind, but it's like this racist lady like trying to like fucking justify like some thugs at the store, so I painted my face brown, and it's like shut up. I'm gonna fucking.
I love that line of logic. I love that line of logic.
Yeah,
There's thugs at the store, so I painted my face brown. Well, James, I'm gonna have to put away my punk Spider-Man cosplay then for the
JD,
next
it's okay to do
level
it.
up.
Just
No, I can't do it
don't
anymore.
Blackface.
I can't do it anymore, man.
It's okay.
No, it's not okay, James.
You can wear it, JD. Nobody's gonna be mad at you for wearing it.
No, but when I take the mask off, they're gonna realize that I've painted my face brown, and then, and it's not the lighting, and it's not the video in reverse. Anyway, James,
You're gonna look like one of those weird anime characters who have like a weird ass tan.
it's like I show up in the punk Spider-Man cosplay with the mask on when you see me, and you're like, "Oh, JD, that's a really good looking cosplay."
There's like wet stains on the mask from
and
the
you're like,
paint on
you're
your
like,
face.
"Can you take the mask off real quick?" And I'm like, "No, I can't do that." And you're like, "Why not?" So you're like wrestling with me trying to take the mask off, and it finally comes off. And then I'm like, and it's just like that girl, that same cosplayer that's doing Spider-Punk.
You know what's wild? After I saw the blackface video,
Yeah.
I saw a movie with Jack Black in it where he does blackface.
What movie is that?
Which in the movie they do go, no, what the fuck are you doing? He's like, no, but I can play this character, and everyone's like, why would you play this character? And he's like, well, I'm fat, and they're like, we can just make ourselves look fat. What are you doing? And he's like, no,
It's
you
not
don't
wrong
get
to
it.
make yourself look fat. It's wrong.
They're like, no, you don't understand clearly.
Oh, so like the point of that is just to make is to prove that it's not right to do it.
Yes, the whole point, like it's literally a bit
Pretty funny.
where they're so just a quick rundown of the movie to give you like the information. Jack Black gets magnetized. He walks into like an old Blockbuster type store,
Magnetized.
accidentally like erases all the info and all the VHS tapes that they were selling.
Uh-huh.
And so they have to recreate the movies themselves. And so they're the
Oh, I
characters in the
see.
movies. And they're also trying to tell the story of this historical figure who lived in the building that they sell the VHS tapes out of. And at the end, they're like, we got to make this movie so we can save the shop. And they're like, okay, who are we going to have play Stubbs? And Jack Black, like they're like getting one of the actors ready who's like a black guy and everything. He's got like a fake mustache on. They're like putting a pillow in his shirt and everything to make him look fatter.
Yeah.
And Jack Black, like in this crowd of black people that are like all getting ready for the scene because it's
That's
supposed to be like
pretty
a
funny.
cultural significant movie. Jack Black walks up and he starts going, "Yes, hello." And
That's
everybody,
hilarious.
like, everybody you can see like looks like they want to fucking strangle him.
Oh, man, that's super funny.
It's like the fucking Robert Downey Jr. where everyone's like, yeah, no, of course it's bad that he did it.
Yeah.
That's the point.
When I take off the mask of my Spider-Punk costume, I'm like, James, it's you that said it doesn't matter who you are underneath the mask.
That's not what I meant, JD. This isn't what the quote means. Oh, so
That's what the
now
quote says.
now we're moving the goalpost. You tell me.
Oh,
I
so
love
all of a
when
sudden the
people say
rules
that.
just change, huh?
Dude, I love when conservatives say that. They're like, oh, look at you all moving the goalpost again.
James, you got to stop moving the goalpost, man.
Well, it's not my fault that Sound of Freedom.
Because you keep moving the goalpost, and no one's going to be able to score any goals.
Jay, it's not my fault that the hit movie for conservatives, Sound of Freedom, which is about child trafficking,
Yeah.
one of its biggest funders was a child trafficker.
What? And who is this person exactly, huh, James?
Oh shit! Hold on, I could pull up the name, but
Oh,
like,
now you're moving the goalpost. Huh?
no, this is like one of the only things I remembered last second. I just don't have the name written down.
I see.
But yeah, their biggest funder, like producer for the movie, is literally
Like someone who's been charged with that?
child
or-
trafficker. Yeah, Fabian Marta.
Ah. I'm not going to Google who that is, but I'll just trust your word on it. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's. Oh, I love this. Everybody else is like, this guy was arrested for child kidnapping, and Fox News, of course, is like, accused.
Let's look at the Webster's dictionary for that definition for that word.
Yeah, sure.
Accused. No, he's been charged though, right?
Yeah, it's like the fucking Trump situation where you're like, no, he's been charged and is going to trial for it. They're like, allegedly.
Did he get doesn't he have like another indictment on him right now?
Does. He does.
Can never
My
catch a
favorite thing is
break.
people not understanding what indictments are, and they're like, no, it's not anything serious. They're just suspectful, and it's like, no, they have more than probable cause.
It's just sus. You know, it's like indictment is basically a synonym of sus.
Yeah, man. When I play Among Us, I say indictment every time I suspect somebody. being the
Uh-huh.
imposter. I don't know, Red Crewmate. That's indictment. So
Hmm.
fucking stupid. Um.
I
Uh.
love hearing about you freaking out about all these social media like crazies are making you actually insane.
I
They make you
because
spasm in
because
pain.
I'm like I like start with a sane reaction and
Yeah.
then they say insane shit and I feel insane and I feel
And
like
then you
I've got to
just
go
you
to their
spiral
level.
with them.
I know.
They've already spiraled and they like grabbed onto your they grabbed onto your ankle and you're like, huh? And you look down and you see them like falling off and you offer help and they're like, bitch. So they grab like the rest of you and then you fall down with them. And
Yeah, they
you just
grab
let it
me. I
happen,
turn
James.
around. I'm holding on to you, and you're like, James,
And
I
I'm
can't
like,
hold you. And
and
I
I'm like,
say, it's okay. And I let go so I can spiral down with them,
and I
leaving
say,
you
James,
free.
James, I've put butter
I'm
on
the
all of
hero.
I've spread butter on all my appendages so you can't hold on to me anymore. And then so you slip off by yourself.
No, yeah, but I still say, don't worry, JD. I won't drag you down with me. And you're like, I what?
JD,
You
whatever you
never
do,
would.
don't do that. Uh, anyway, yeah, that's pretty nice.
So in some other news,
Actually,
FNAF
can I say
movie.
something that'll interest me a little bit from your topic before you go into the FNAF
Yeah,
stuff?
yeah, let's do it.
Star Trek drama? What's that supposed to be?
So, Star Trek's newest episode was a musical episode.
Oh, is it musical?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
And it was explained through lore for why it happened because it's Star Trek. So it's like, hey, here's this dumb, goofy reason for why said thing happened.
Oh yeah, Star Trek always has some lore.
Yeah, it's got to have lore for why things happen. But
I
like,
see.
so they were trying to. This is early in the years of Star Trek, so they're advanced, but they don't have all the advancements of like the later Star Trek shows and whatnot.
Hmm.
So they're still figuring stuff out, like how to send certain stuff. And they
Hmm.
realize we can't send stuff verbally, but we can send it through the melody of a music, like messages and whatnot,
Oh, I see.
across space and time. And so they're like,
Cool.
oh, we can do that. And so they test it, and then a field of like cosmic energy is near them, and it reacts to it and
And they
opens
can
as
faintly hear like the Star Wars like Xbox Connect song plays like I'm feeling like a star. You can't stop my shine.
I'm
I'm
Han
Han
Solo.
Solo.
I'm Han Solo.
Yeah, that'd be so funny.
Pretty close, JD. No.
Oh yeah, so you're
Uh,
sending messages through song
they send
across
messages
space and
through
time. That's
song
cool.
and then like
That's
this
badass.
cosmic field of energy reacts to it and opens a zipper to a parallel world where it's a musical. It
Oh
like their energy that they were sending cut like a line through this field and opened a portal to another world, so it was slowly leaking into their world, their
yeah,
universe, and infected the crew because they were right next to it.
I
So
see.
they immediately were infected, and
Musicals
Spock,
are a virus. I agree. They should
yeah,
be
it's a virus.
eradicated.
It's so there's an actual musical called The Guy That Doesn't Like Musicals that does this, but like on a smaller scale in a city and not in
Yeah,
space.
yeah.
It's very good. It's the same exact kind of concept. It's just
Are you
not
a fan of musicals? I feel like you
I
talked
do.
about multiple musicals.
I love musicals, but I especially love like indie production kind of musicals.
Oh, I see.
Star Kid Star Kid has very funny musicals that are also emotional and just have really good songs.
Oh, I
They're
see.
the people that did The Guy Who Doesn't Like Musicals. But that was actually one of the first musicals I ever properly watched.
Uh
It's
huh.
good.
Oh,
Uh but sorry, I know I'm getting off on a tangent, but it slips through. Spock starts singing first. Everyone's like, Spock, why are you singing? Should we send you to the med bay? And then they cut to the med bay, and the med bay is infected, where both the medical officers are now singing in sync and doing their actions in sync with each other as if they're dancing.
mm-hmm.
And it then slowly starts to sped to the bridge crew, where the bridge crew starts singing. The captain, the pilot, the navigator, and whatnot. They're all like start moving in sync and
I
singing
can
together, and
imagine
like in this
like
big magical number.
I can imagine them doing that, but there's no actual music that's playing, so they're just like
Well, the
at
thing
the
is,
Kelling and
they're all like, where is that music coming from? Every time it starts, they're like, where is this?
why is there boss music playing?
Yeah, it's
And
it's
because like the
literally that.
Sif's boss theme from Dark Souls is like, oh,
Um, it's really good. The musical numbers
it's
are
not
done
bad.
very well,
Hmm.
which I'm so happy about. They were done greatly. And then the episode like finishes with them like closing the field. And I think something that upset a lot of people is the fact that Spock sings and that
Yeah.
Klingons sing And the thing is that in the show Star Trek, Klingons, they're very warrior. They're very tough, monotone,
They're
and they never
stoic.
really show.
They're stoic. They're masculine.
They're very stoic and masculine.
they're
And
like
in
the
this one, they turn
perfect
into a K-pop
embodiment
band.
of
They turn into a K-pop band.
okay. K-pop, huh?
Yeah, well, the whole thing is like everybody's singing like very like sort of like modern musical, and then like the Klingons keep alluding to the fact that it's happening to them as well because they're on another ship, and they keep messaging in after the song happens, and they're like, "We're doing something very disrespectful to our culture. What are you doing, Starfleet?" And everything. Like they're blaming them, and then like the last second, Pike, the captain, he's like, "Hail the Klingons! We gotta tell them that we can stop this." And the Klingons are like, "You fair," and then like a bunch of K-pop music starts playing. The camera cuts back. There's like Klingons in the background, like swinging around their swords as if they're like canes that they're dancing with.
That's hilarious.
And the guy's like doing like a fucking K-pop dance number, like song and everything. And I'm like, this is funny. Like this is so funny. I love this.
April 1st came late this year.
Yeah, man.
So what's the drama about? So that's the only drama that people didn't like the Klingons doing it.
People that don't like it are boomers.
I mean, Star Trek's for boomers, right? Isn't that like a really old show?
But I also think a lot of young people have found solidarity in it, especially with the new Star Trek, which is now referred to as
Define
New
young.
Trek. 20s, like 20s to 30s.
Nah, that's not young anymore, James.
The younger generation compared to the 60-year-olds.
That's not to say like my father is a big fan of Star Trek and he watched like the original.
My dad is also a big fan. He watches all the Star Trek shows, including the bad ones. And we talk about how these are bad. And he didn't like the musical episode. But my dad also doesn't like cartoons. So when they did the crossover with the animated episode like 2 episodes ago,
he also
and it
doesn't
started
like
out in animation, he's like, "You tricked me! You tricked me into watching it!"
Tricked me. I don't want to watch these fake people.
Yeah, I'm like, no, Dad, it's funny. He's like, "You're gonna make me watch an anime."
Funny? You think this is funny?
I tried
This
getting
is
him.
serious.
I was like, "Dad, you like The Boys, right?" And he's like, "Yeah, I like The Boys." I'm like, "So you'd like Invincible?" We couldn't even make it through the first episode. He was so annoyed.
Yeah.
Just like he's like, animation, my brain.
That's you. See, that's where you get that from. You're like spasming in pain when you don't like something or something's really annoying you.
I get it from my dad. Yeah. My dad, he doesn't like it, and I realize when I'm looking online, a lot of people that don't like it are just boomers.
I mean,
It's just boomers who are like, "This is the worst episode of Star Trek," and I'm like, Star Trek Picard literally exists. That has 3 seasons, and I don't think any of it was good. It was so bad. It was so bad.
Yeah, I mean, hey, you can't win them all, you know.
No, you can. I can understand if like you don't like musicals, and that's why you don't like it. But people are like, "There's no intelligence to this episode." I'm like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" They're like, "It's too nonsensical." And I'm like, "You guys like The Next Generation specifically? Like that's your favorite one." Somebody literally quoted to me, they're like, "Star Trek: The Next Generation. It's very intellectual. It's very high." Like they're fucking giving me the Rick and Morty excuse.
Oh yeah,
you gotta be big brain to be able to watch
the show.
Yeah, you gotta have a fucking high IQ
To
watch
really
it.
understand the show, you need an IQ of at least 175.
Yeah, they're like, I'm like this unintellectual crap with New Trek, and it's like a slur when they say it, New Trek. and I'm like, so The Next Generation, aka Picard era and whatnot, that's one of the goofiest fucking eras of Star Trek I've ever seen. Like I literally found a podcast that makes
That's my favorite too. Yeah, I like it because it's goofy. All the other stuff's too serious, man.
Then you like Strange New Worlds, which is the one that has a musical. It's very goofy.
Strange New
Worlds.
Worlds.
It's very of that era though. It's goofy in the way that one was goofy. It understands what it is. But I literally found a podcast that posts TikTok clips of their like thing with edits and whatnot of Star Trek episodes that they talk about, and every fucking clip is them talking about the goofiest shit I have ever seen ever in its Star Trek episodes. And even in serious moments, it's so fucking dumb and goofy. And I'm like, what are you guys talking about? It's always been this. It's always been camp. It's always been very just goofy and dumb. Like it's never been this fucking high intellectual shit. like calm the fuck down. We're talking about aliens.
Listen, just because they say a lot of words that you don't understand the meaning of doesn't mean it's a highly intellectual.
Just because they say a lot of dumb words that aren't real and that they literally made up on the spot became canon because of that. Doesn't mean they're saying anything. Photons, torpedoes, those aren't real. Photons are real. Torpedoes are real. But photon torpedoes are not real.
See, that's where you're wrong, James.
You're right. So yeah, that's the Star Trek drama. I didn't mean to go
Okay,
into that
cool.
for as long, but is that
Well, you always rant about things for way longer than you should, so.
yeah, sorry.
Yeah, you
So
should be
FNAF.
sorry.
Speaking
What
of
about
ranting about
FNAF?
stuff for too long, one of them is just a quick topic. The FNAF movie runtime. It's going to be over 3 hours, I think.
Yeah.
I'm excited. It's a PG-13 rating.
It's a little over 3 hours.
Yeah, I think it's either like just under or a little over.
That's pretty long for
I'm fucking
that
excited.
kind of movie. Yeah, I'm excited too.
I'm
Holy crap.
happy with that. I'm so happy that it's not a short runtime.
Yeah, I was like, kind of expecting it to be like an hour and 30 minutes or something.
Dude, that's what Wally's Wonderland is, which is the fucking
Yeah,
Nicolas
like
Cage
the
one,
really indie
which we need to
production.
watch. By the way,
We still need
I
to watch
watched
that.
it.
You've
I've
watched it already?
I watched it with my brother because I'm like, my brother loves Nick Cage. I love FNAF. This is clearly a FNAF parody. I watched it. I'm like,
Parody with Nick
this is
Cage.
Nick Cage is the only good thing other than like some of the costume and puppets. Other
Mm-hmm.
than that, this is dog shit. It's a bad story. It's not even good.
There is no story.
It's just because Nick Cage is just a fucking goofy actor that you're like, yeah, man, hell yeah.
Nick Cage when he's like, all right, let's ride.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Nick Cage is he's a pretty great actor.
Okay.
I don't even know which movie that's from, but I see gifs of it. It's hilarious.
I think it's an ad.
It's hilarious
Like,
even if it's outside of out of context. So I think I saw like the worst meme I've ever seen using that gif, where it's like me when I forgot something at home. Me trying to remember if I forget anything at home, and it's just him standing there like, all right, let's ride.
I think again, not to make this too long of a topic, but it's also PG-13. Are you aware of that?
I expected that, but I wasn't aware of it.
Yeah, I'm not surprised because like this has never been an overtly violent like franchise ever.
Yeah, I've never really seen FNAF with like too much like gore.
The most gore came from Springtrap's just like
the red
animation model
pixels?
when he opens it up, and then like the pixels of him getting Springtrapped.
Yeah.
And even then, that's very tame.
Yeah, I mean, it was always like a targeted toward a younger audience, so I expect it to be
Like-
PG-13.
Even the Phantom Nightmare animatronics aren't really like gory; they're just like scary drawn, and that's
Yeah.
about it.
I feel like FNAF works just fine if it's PG-13.
Well, even with like PG-13, Multiverse of Madness, for example, a very gory movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
It was
remember
kinda gory,
at the beginning when he fucking pulls the
Wait,
eye
was
out
that
of the
PG-13?
alien? It was. It was
You
PG-13.
can get away a lot with PG-13 then, huh?
People don't realize this. You can do a lot with PG-13.
Mm-hmm.
You can do so much violence, and it's just because movies that usually are PG-13 aren't trying to do violence. They're just trying to be like mature topics.
They're trying to like not get close to the border of PG-13, the next rating above it.
Right, but then that's what happens when you get a guy that makes horror movies and he's allowed to fucking go all out
Yeah.
with a PG-13 rating.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I don't get to be goofy anymore. I get to fucking blow shit up. I get to explode humans.
I'm not going to be goofy anymore. I'm going to be a little silly.
It wouldn't be Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Yeah, so that's cool.
Yeah, so moving on from that, I'm expecting a lot to come from it. Ooh, a new message.
Yeah, that is pretty good.
Okay, yeah, that's
That's
what
the
you're
thing
talking
I was
about.
thinking about, yeah. Where he's just
I
like,
thought you were
okay, let's
talking
ride.
about the Nick Cage gif and video where he's like sitting there and like on a bench and he goes, "Fuck," and then he like just nods his head and gets up. That's what I thought you're talking.
No,
I'm
he's
glad
got-
there's two things that have very similar energy.
It's so funny that Nick Cage has so many moments like that where I talk about one like goofy thing and you think about another goofy thing that he's done.
You know, I'm looking at it. I can't figure it out. He has a beard or a mustache there, doesn't he?
In that gift I sent you?
Yeah, he has like a mustache or something.
No, he's clean shaven, I think. Yeah, it's just the lighting.
Oh yeah, you're right. Okay, because it makes
Yeah.
it look like there's like a
And he
clip on
doesn't
his lip.
have brown paint on his face. It's just the lighting.
No, he's just naturally that color.
Exactly.
So FNAF Ruin came out, and we only kind of got to talk about it, but a lot of secrets have been found in it.
Yeah.
Have you
There was some
you've
secrets.
watched Markiplier's game playthrough?
I watched is a strong word. I put it on in the
Okay.
background while I did other stuff, but I didn't really pay attention too much.
Okay.
I maybe like tabbed in and out when I hear him like make a loud noise or something. And I'm like, oh, what happened?
Whoa! When he does one of those.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, but I know the general gist of Ruin. So
Yeah,
yeah,
you know that the Mamek is living in the basement.
yeah, I know Kai Memek really lives in the basement.
Kai Kai Cynic.
Kai Cynical.
It's just gonna end up revolting us calling the Mimic Kai Senta. And not even Cenat, just Kai Cenat.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's just how it is. I know
Yeah,
it's the Mimic. I know it's I
a
know
character from the
Cassie's
books.
favorite crew of the cast is this most sus one. So
And
yeah.
Roxanne.
Yeah.
I love the characterization of Roxanne in this one because it's so clear that like she only hates Gregory because like she was just programmed to, and then he stole her
Because he
fucking
stole
eyes,
her
and she's
eyes.
like, "You
Yeah.
bit," and it like became
It's like, you
personal.
fucker.
Like, also, Monty in this game, in this DLC, was so funny. He's just.
Yeah, the sounds that he makes. I remember like
I
Markiplier
sent you a
reacting to it.
GIF, not a GIF, but a little video above like my topics to talk about on the podcast. Where at the end it devolves to him in a rubber room, chained up in his ruined state, where he's just
Crazy.
screaming.
I was crazy once.
He's just screaming in the room. But yeah, this I just don't know. He killed 17 children.
You know, he's not a bad guy. Ma'am, your husband killed three children.
Oh, that's what it was. So what do you think of like the designs in the DLC?
Of the ruin?
Yeah, really.
I like them. I thought they were cool.
I love that they so this is something that I was really expecting with the DLC when I heard it got announced, and like
Yeah.
we saw what they looked like in their kind of like beat up forms at the end of the game. I was like, the DLC is just going to make them look horrendous. They're going to be just completely trash. They're going to be like not trash, trashed. Like
Yeah.
they're going to be just like torn up, just like fucking leaking, like just covered in like shit and whatnot.
That's
And
definitely
they
Chica.
were. It's I love it. I love
Yeah, I
that
mean,
each
Chica
character.
literally had trash like in him, I think.
Also, if you put her voice box back in her, the trash bag falls out finally.
There you go.
Clean that trash bag out. Get that
Just get that trash
exoskeleton
bag
clean
out
again.
that you put in there. Just get it out.
Out. Uh, I love the design for mixes, or as I like to call them, malhair.
Who's
Because
that?
malware and hair, because he's a rabbit, so malhair.
Oh, you mean like the thing that only shows up in the augmented reality?
Yeah, the
The
glitch
the
mixes.
glitch bunny. I see.
I love that design. I love that it's like glitchy. It's like missing frames when it moves around because it's a computer program.
Yeah, I mean, what is with franchises and like AI enemies now? Like the bad guy is an AI. I feel
Well,
like that's been happening a
mean?
lot, huh?
What do you mean?
I mean, in like
Space Jam 2.
we watched Space Jam 2. We watched what was that movie again? It was I blanked out on the name. Mission Impossible, the newest Mission Impossible. The
Yeah,
AI
I
is the
think it's
enemy.
just. I think well, they've FNAF has been doing AI for a bit. You know, it's been about AI since like I think FNAF 2 specifically.
Yeah, there was AI in FNAF 2.
It's been integrated into it, so it's not like too new. But like giving an entire like entity like Glitch Trap and Malhair, especially.
Yeah,
I think that's just because like the times of like the fear of AI has gotten stronger.
ear eyes AI symbolized. You know.
Yeah, even though in this one Malhair is the good guy. It is objectively the good one because it's trying to stop you from letting
It's the
the mimic
security
out.
program, right? There's something
Yeah,
like that.
it's the
like
security
part of the security
program.
program.
Uh oh, dude, I love that the mimic just fucks with you the whole game through Helpy, through the little like messages from Helpy.
Oh, yeah.
I love that. That's such a good detail of like if you really think about it, that's just it
Mhm.
fucking with you the whole time. Just
I tell you, James, it's
gaslighting
just a
you.
troll.
It is. It's so good because it's like when you're Cassie and you like step through like one of those doorway portals that leads to you to like another place.
Yeah.
Cassie's like, "What? How did I get here?" And the thing's just like, "With your 2 feet." Fucking gaslighter, dude.
Yeah.
Fucking gaslighting a
You,
woman again.
with your legs, idiot.
It's definitely based itself off William Afton being the gaslighter it is.
Gaslighter it is.
Dude, it fucking lies to you like to your face. I love it. That's such a good little fucking thing. But
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised at how coherent Ruin came out. I mean, I
it's
didn't see like anything like too egregiously like messed up with the gameplay or anything like that. So
yeah, I can't think of like
I think they nailed it.
other
Pretty
than
solid.
the Bonnie glitch, I can't really think of any that like really stopped you from doing anything.
Mm-hmm.
Because like the only one I've really heard of is like even if you do all the wet floor signs properly,
Yeah.
sometimes it won't spawn the
Oh
last
yeah,
one for you
like
to enter Bonnie's
the only
room.
thing that glitched out were like the if you were trying to 100% ruin, like get all the
Right.
collectibles and stuff. There was some weird like saving conflicts or something. I don't know. It's
Right.
weird that the game saves
Also,
weird.
Markiplier, I love that Markiplier doesn't understand certain things when he was playing it. He, he not getting into the sound disc yet, but like when he finished the game and he said it said all collectibles gotten,
Yeah.
like you have all the collectibles. It's telling you that for the chapters, not the
Yeah,
whole
it's like it's
game.
it's it's for the chapter.
But he doesn't understand that. So the entire time he was playing through it after seeing that message, he's like, "Oh look, a collectible I didn't get." And he's like yelling about it.
It's lying to me, just like how the mimic's lying to me. Is the mimic in the menus too?
Oh, I love when he. I also love the detail that you don't see any of like the stuff glitching out until you get the program in the mask.
Mhm.
So it's like, of course, now you can see it. It's like, why can't people notice this sooner? Because their brain doesn't let them, because they don't have a chip that like distorts it for them to see through it.
They don't have a brain.
It's like I love the evolution and like the inclusion of the sound illusion stuff further into the story to like make it cohesive of like, yeah, there is stuff right here, but like you literally can't perceive it because of the like bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I think they took a pretty interesting route on it, you know. So
It's
it's great. I like
I
it.
dude, there's a really scary moment in it
Yeah.
when you're in the fucking daycare and you're like in the giant theater room and like you're finishing like the camera thing, and once you finish it, there's a giant fucking endoskeleton in the AR world
Oh
crawling
yeah.
out of the screen. That is so terrifying, but I love it. It's
I
so good.
oh, I love how they decided to make the AR world like fucking terrifying with all the eyes and shit that pop up
The
on
eyes
the
are
walls and
such a
stuff.
good fucking detail. I love it.
It's like, who designed that? They're like, you know what? Let's put eyes in this.
It
Let's code
I
some
think
lies in
it's
this bitch.
I think it's genuinely to represent the mimic looking at you, because I
Yeah.
think it's supposed to represent the mimic's eyes
I'm
because it
always
mimics
watching
taken
you.
over the AI in the mask specifically. It's taken it over. It's been leading you astray and whatnot. It's
See,
giving you Gregory's voice in your head.
it's just to symbolize how AI is taking over the world right now. So,
Yeah.
mhm.
Uh, I love like I already said I love the designs of all the animatronics.
Yeah.
I love the way they look. I love that Monty's just fucking like hanging by a thread. He is pure endoskeleton at this point.
He's just like a monster here. I don't think he says like a single word.
He just screams the whole time.
Yeah, he's just like, oh, oh, oh.
Mark pointed it out at the part where he's like at the gate fighting, but he's just screaming, just growling the whole time. And
Yeah.
Mark's like, "Oh, you're just a mess, aren't you? Oh, you're just nothing left there, huh?"
Yeah, dude, I just love the way Mark plays games. It's like the best way to experience it if you're just not it'll make you like annoyed and frustrated if you're like intently watching it. But if you just
It's
have it on the background, and you're just only taking in the moments that are goofy, it's pretty funny.
I watched all of Markiplier's game through, and then I also watched all of Matt Pat's,
Yeah.
and it irks me that Matt Pat is worse at playing it than Mark.
It's a difference between, a gamer and a theorist, it's just
Truly, and it's like
Does MatPat
It's
play
Matt.
games like he's never played a game before in his life?
That's totally the case. He's also like missing stuff right in his face. Like there are present boxes, like especially at that end cave before you
Yeah.
find the mimic. There was a
Mhm.
present box in his face several times, and only after he turned his flashlight on again did he
Yeah.
see it. And I'm like, it's been in your face this entire time. It's the only discolored thing in the cave. Like everything's a neon blue,
Oh, I
and then
really
there's this
liked. I like Candy
yellow and
Cadet.
red blocks. Can't.
Candy
Oh my
Cadet was in
god,
it,
Candy Cadet. I love the story, and I
and the
love that
story's
he's
pretty
just
good.
there.
Story is pretty good. I wonder what it
Candy,
was about.
Candy.
I wonder what it meant.
MatPat didn't. Apparently, MatPat couldn't understand it because he was like attributing it to security breach and not ruin in the situation he's in.
Yeah, I mean, you can't blame the guy. The guy's literally gone insane from like listening to FNAF content for like 10 years. So
I mean, I've done the same because I was a kid when this all came out, so that's why I always
yeah.
have a deep interest in it. But I've done the
Mhm.
same, and I immediately picked up on what it meant.
Sometimes I think he's just overthinking it. Really,
Yeah, no, he also had like one of his like editors with him, so they were like helping him.
he thinks it's like
Because
Star
like he
Trek
went to
lore where everything has to have significance, but maybe some things don't have to have significance. My friend Orwell, he was.
Dude, when is he coming back, man? When are we getting Mr. Hippo?
It's the I want to have a new spin-off game. What
Oh
was
my
that game
god.
called? It's just the Misfits or something. I forgot what they were called.
Uh Shit, what was it called?
Anyway,
It's
though,
called Every FNAF fan game maker is a horrible person apparently.
really, really,
Yeah, not all of them, of course. There
but
are
like
a
a
bunch that are.
weirdly large amount of them have come out as
Yeah, the
terrible
guy that
people.
made the Juniors game, terrible person apparently. I think a racist.
Damn, that's terrible because Junior was pretty good.
Juniors was a good game and terrible to find out that the creator, I'm pretty sure, is like a terrible racist, and the other people that he was being racist with are also fan game makers.
Yeah,
Especially the people that were in the fanverse thing, which was like Scott Coffin literally handpicking out fan game makers
yeah.
to make like technically canon stuff, but like in their own universe. They were
Mhm.
literally selling merch of these characters and whatnot.
Please don't turn me into a marketable plushie.
No,
And then Monty just transforms into plushie.
it's muffled version of the
Yeah,
Monty screaming.
yeah.
But yeah, a bunch of fan game makers are just terrible people. But not all of them. Not all of them.
No, I know you want to say all of them. Just say it.
All of them.
And with that, thank you for
Everyone.
listening. If you
Wait, no, no, no.
enjoyed,
I got one more thing. I got one more thing.
what do you have?
Transformers Earthspark finally came to an end. The
Thank
first
you for
season
watching.
finally came to an end, and it was really good. I think a lot of people gave this show shit because it had like bad animation at first,
Or
which was
is
also
that
the
new,
case.
like a new cartoon, or is it?
It was their newest Transformers cartoon, the newest continuity.
Hmm.
And I think what a lot of people don't realize is that every time a new Transformers show comes out, the first like season is kind of weird because it doesn't know its footing right till the end, and then it's after that they get where they want to be and are
That's the
really good.
Transformers tradition.
Like
Tradition.
yeah, like I think a lot of people aren't seeing this like they're looking at it with like rose tinted glasses,
Mm-hmm.
like not seeing the red flags of the other shows.
Mm-hmm.
Because
It's
Transformers
nostalgia
Prime,
blinding them.
yeah, the show Transformers Prime is objectively on a lower scale of quality. Even though it's the people prefer it and it's supposedly the darker show, it's
Yeah.
only dark because it started out with like a zombie episode where they killed one of the main characters, voiced by Dwayne Johnson, by the way.
Well, The Rock was in it.
The Rock was in the first episode and then they killed
Wow.
him because they
That's
couldn't
awesome.
afford him anymore.
That's cool.
He voiced Cliffjumper, Bumblebee's brother. Oh,
Oh.
my computer turned off.
Oh.
It's back on.
Okay.
Uh, yeah, he gets killed, and then he immediately gets turned into a zombie with Dark Energon, which was the big plot point for the whole series. Uh,
Hmm.
but that was like at the beginning, and that was it. It wasn't really dark after that
Huh.
ever again.
That's cool.
It was just mildly serious, mildly goofy, and then guess what? Earthspark is the same.
Nice.
It has I think it does more than Prime with how like kind of dark and creepy it gets. There's literally an episode where it's like, what if I didn't get this sort of certain thing that helped me link to a transformer? And then it like shows her brother violently slowly dying of a fucking illness. Like because he got the thing and not her. Like instead of both of
Oh.
them getting it, it was just him, and it was like killing him. It was like poisoning him.
Oh, do you, so do
His
you
fucking
like
veins were bulging out of his skin. His head was like losing shape. It was like pressing onto like his
he's slowly
bones.
transforming into an alternate.
Yes, it was very like violent, and I'm like, this is more than what Transformers Prime did.
Mm.
There's points where it's like people's bodies are being puppeted around. Oh my god, there's a character whose literal body is falling apart like in the progression of the first season the entire time because he
Jesus
keeps cutting
Christ.
off limbs and putting transformer parts on himself because he
Hmm.
wants to be like more so he can stop the transformers. But in the end, he's literally just a floating head inside of this very gross robotic spider. Like it's very
That
graphic
sounds
and
pretty
it's like
dark to me.
it's dark, but there's also like goofy episodes. And in like this is no different than Transformers Prime, but people don't like it because get this, the main characters aren't white people for once.
it! I knew it!
And there's
Get the shit out of my
single
goddamn sight!
there's a single non-binary character that shows up at episode 9.
Yeah.
And
So what about this unary character?
well, go broke firstly.
Well,
I love when
hypothetically,
people
for
say
the sake of the
that because
argument.
it's so objectively wrong. Like the Barbie movie went woke and it performed amazingly. I'm pretty sure it outdid Oppenheimer. But yeah, like it. There's like a non-binary character, and people like lose their minds over it because that was the whole panic. Because fucking Fox News just fired Tucker Carlson, so they brought up, Transformers put a non-binary character in this, and people were like, they won't do this in my Transformers. Your Transformers has been doing this for fucking decades.
I wonder if they even watch Transformers a lot.
No, they don't. They watch Michael Bay's Transformers, and even
I
then,
see.
they don't actually watch it. They're just like, hot woman explosion. Ugh.
What's wrong with that, James?
Two of those hot women are depicted as being under the age.
But their
Legally,
actors are not under the age.
I don't care. The characters that are depicted are children. You are disgusting.
But I like the explosions. See, there's nothing wrong with that, right?
I mean, do you
And
also
with that,
eat crayons?
it's wait. So you like Earthstrike? It's pretty good.
Earthspark. It's good in the series finale. I mean, the season finale, not series. But I'm pretty sure they are making a second
making
season.
more
They just
seasons?
can't work on it because of the writer strike.
Okay.
But I think they still are going to make it. The season finale, the literal final episode, it's so amazingly well done. Like the animation is incredible. The fight scenes are amazing, and it's because they have the people that worked on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Rise of the Mutants, or I think it was just Rise was what it was called. And the animations in that, especially the fight scenes, were fucking phenomenal. And those are the same people that storyboarded the fight scenes for this show.
Oh.
It's so good. It's so fucking good.
Yeah, that sounds pretty cool.
It is. It's amazing, and I think people just give it a lot of shit unnecessarily because there's like queer
They always
characters in
give
it,
them a
and the
lot of
characters are
shit.
white.
Mm-hmm.
And before I get a comment by one guy going
On this video,
yeah, by one guy going, well, actually, Transformers Animated had Sari, and Sari was not a white person. Sari wasn't human. Sari just looked human. She was a Transformer still. Does not count.
Whoa, Transformers have races. Come on now.
No, she was techno-organic. She wasn't human.
Sure, I can't understand your nerd talk. If you enjoyed this episode, you should like, subscribe, and if you like James, you can check him out. And all his stuff's in the description. You'll be able
I'm
to find him there.
streaming me drawing FNAF characters as Transformers.
Yeah, you'll be able to find him there. And yeah, I guess that'll be it for me. I'll see you next Sunday. James, bring us out.
So, a lot of people are going like, why does a Transformer...